I'm gonna smoke people at champs.
Hello everyone and welcome to Catching Up with Toronto Ultra presented by TD. My name is Visions and today we are joined with Scrappy. Scrappy, how you doing, my man?
Doing all right, we're back in the 6, so should be a good time.
I like that right there. So let's kind of actually like kick it off for as far as, where you're coming from, where you grew up. I'm actually a little curious about that. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about the history of, living in the States and whatnot?
So I lived in a suburb in North New Jersey.
Sure.
Went to private school growing up. Have 2 older brothers that I'm super close with, so I was with them a lot, chilling out and just playing Call of Duty. So
let's actually dive in more to the family because I'm curious. Coming up, even before you had signed with Toronto Ultra, was the family support there, like behind you, for as far as pursuing this career, or kind of what was that like? If you can.
My mom was always like. So I grew up. I lived with my mom after high school. My parents were divorced, so she always knew what was going on. I was like, I'm gonna give it one more year, and if nothing's happened, I'm just gonna move on. Mm-hmm. So Cold War, I really didn't play all the way through, and Vanguard, I told myself I'm not gonna take a break. I'm just gonna go until we see what happens, and then 3 months later, I'm on a pro team. So
now the other question I have is, you like to get a little hyped, you like to get a little amped up, talk a little smack here and there. So, where does that kind of stem from? Where does that come from? Is that how you've kind of always been,
yeah.
Or is that just what happens when you get amped up and you start performing well?
Yeah, no, that's how I've always been since I've been competing at locals. I've been the 12-year-old that's screaming my head off.
Now, outside of the game, what does Scrappy do? It's off season. You're not worried about playing any S&Ds. Let's say, right now, like what is your go-to? What do you love to do outside of the game?
My family has a shore house at the Jersey Shore, so I like to go down there. Yeah, I chill with my nephew. My brothers, obviously, I'm super close with them. So it's just kind of chilling with fam. I don't know, figuring stuff going on. It's really just on the fly. I'm a super kind of person that's in the moment. Let's just find something to do and have fun with it. So me and my brothers always figure something out.
So compared to last year, you talked about kind of the season not really going the way that you wanted and putting your all into this year. But what do you think have been like your individual successes so far compared to last year? What are you doing differently? Why have we seen so much improvement from Scrappy?
So this year I kind of put my everything to the side, put all my ego to the side, just really focused on having people around me get me better. And when stuff goes wrong in our scrims, I make sure that the stuff that I'm doing wrong, I watch back over and I fix the next time we go into it. So on a different than a team level, it's just making sure that I do my job, just making sure that I'm always doing the best that I can. So
kind of like adding on to that for as far as, when you are doing your prep, when you are kind of, doing additional work, what's it like working with like the coaching staff behind the scenes as well, compared to like getting yourself, at that top level? It feels like you've been there, but when you're trying to stay there, how do you kind of find that?
Yeah, the coaches do, like Mayhem, Charles, even Marky, Ryan, they do God's work. They make sure that when we're playing at tournaments, there's no pressure on us. There's no one texting us. Like, they do all the behind the scenes, really making sure that our head's clear, just going into matches, just focusing on Call of Duty and just basic Call of Duty.
Sure. Now, my final question here, Scrappy. Your boys with TJ Halley. I know that you guys are really good friends, but if you had to rate that guy out of 10, what would you give him, 10 being high?
A solid 3.
3, that's it.
Solid 3.
Leaving it right there. Solid 3 for TJ. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching Catching Up with Toronto Ultra, presented by TD. And obviously, a really big thanks to Scrappy for joining us. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Clay, I better see you at champs. And if I don't see you at champs, I'm going to be disappointed. And I'm coming.